left, nothing safe, not even a crust. All aboard for a fat boy trip, and you can call me captain. Don't forget the paper plates and the stack of napkins. P-I-Z-Z-A-P-A-R-T-Y. P-I-Z-Z-A-P-A-R-T-Y. Pizza party, pizza party. Gonna have a good time. Pizza party, pizza party. Have a sip of red wine. Yeah!
Ciao, Piezans! Holy cow! Episode 8. We're back. Where have you been? It's been like 14 years. I missed you. Let me take a look. Oh, you guys are, look at you. You're looking great. Smelling great. Somebody's got a little garlic going on in the kitchen. I can smell the Aquanet out there. Wow, I missed you all so much. I don't know where time went, but I hope you're all doing well. It's an absolute pleasure to be back. Man, we got some things going on. Look at this. Check this out. I got to do a GoFundMe. I was making the bed, and I ripped a tendon. So if you see this big old knuckle thing flying around, be careful. Don't make your bed. It's a trap. All right? Don't make your bed. You're just going to get in it later on anyway. So what are we doing tonight? Man, we got a good one. Why are we here? Why? Dungeon Crawl Classics, of course. We're going to talk about all things DCC, MCC, 3PP, everything in between. We got some gorgeous guests this evening. My friend Mark, all the way down in Australia. He's going to talk about Stand Up! I got my homeboys. I got Marty. I got Dr. Metal. And ladies and gentlemen, all the way from the depths of Rhode Island, Sensei Tim DeShane, the one and only. Ooh, I love that guy. There would be no Joey Royale's pizza party if it wasn't for my sensei. This is wonderful. We're going to have a blast. We got all sorts of people in the chat already. Oh, this is going to be beautiful. So, where do we begin? We begin at the Crypt of Cool. I picked up some new weird things in my travels to share with you. Let's flash back to more than a month ago when Reverend Dak the Almighty showed up. Dak, I got the whole set now. Crawl Zine. The first one, everybody, pick it up. They sell these for next to nothing, and it's nothing but $1 million worth of ideas. Eat them up, eat them up, eat them up. Crawl. It's got them on the website. It's also on Straight Couch Press. Third party in the house. Also, I took a trip. I took a trip last weekend all the way up almost to the Canadian border. It's beautiful up there. They got Sasquatch, maple syrup, all that stuff up there. And I met Cousin Marty in person. He invited me up to AnchorCon, which is right by Lake Ontario. And I met him, and I met my friend Vienna Beef, and I met a couple of guys. Woo! Ben Mazzuchetti and Ted Gilbert. They're the guys behind Don't Tell Mom and Dad. Oh, if you like the Goonies, wonderful role-playing game. Now, while I was up there, Ted Gilbert of that gave me one of his labor of loves. These guys are the craziest VHS tape heads I've ever met in my life. And that includes Cousin Marty, too. He's part of this nefarious trio. But Ted Gilbert does this magazine. They're down in Philadelphia. Holy cow! Chef's Kiss. They go deep, deep, deep into VHS culture. And woo! This has everything you could ever need to know about the weirdest of the weird when it comes to VHS. Boy, do I miss those days. Remember those days? Riding your bike down to the video store, walking in there, you hear the little bell ring, and it's a little dark, and you got the horror section, and it's the horror section's always over in the corner a little bit. And you go over there, and your heart would start to beat a little bit because you know what would be there. Oh, you know what would be there that would make the heart beat more than anything else. I'm not talking about Blockbuster. I'm talking about the mom and pop shop right by the convenience store where you get your X-Men comics. You all know what I'm talking about, right? The plastic clamshell case with the skull on it, Gorgon video, Faces of Death. Remember that one? They used to put it in the paper bag, and whoa! It can never be unseen. But if you're into that kind of crazy stuff, right here, lunch meat. This one, this is right up my alley because in the middle, analogizing. This is crazy. They go through and they share premiums that were given away to video stores. Insane. Jane Fonda's primetime sweatband? Yes, please. The Eyes Have It Aquanet shampoo? Oh, sure. I'll take that for $1. Oh, and then you get into the saucy stuff. It's a garter belt. I don't know what movie that came from, but it's not Little Orphan Annie, I'll tell you that much. So Teddy Gilbert, Teddy G in the house, Lunch Meat Magazine. I hit it big. This week. I've been digging for a long time for this. I think we might have even talked about this on this show and on Ravioli, but I found a big one, guys and gals. Look what I found this week for $4. There it is. Time Life, The Enchanted World, Ghosts. These commercials scared the heck out of me as a kid. And what do we always say? That what scares you only makes you cooler. So, oh man, the art in this book, I haven't cracked. I don't even know what the textual contents are. But when you look at, oh my God, look at this. Boom, Maron. That's going to keep you up at night. What's that guy doing? Oh my God, I dropped the pizza. The pizza shovel broke. It's scary. These are great. You can get them for a song. Time Life books, The Enchanted World of Ghosts, all sorts of folklore, myths, and fantasy. Great stuff there. You can smell it. You can smell the 80s on this one. This was in some noni's basement for a long time in the wood paneling. But it's got that nice cloth cover. It's got the gold stamp on the side. Nice stuff. And as I was pulling out my old copies of Crawl, something else popped out that I forgot. And it's a shame that I forgot that I had this because this is something really special. And we don't talk about it enough. So I'm resurrecting it from the Cryptocool. Remember this? Come on. Black Powder, Black Magic, Volume 1. A zine of 6 guns in sorcery compatible with Bada Bing. This is from Stormlord Publishing. This is awesome. Awesome. What a wonderful time for the Weird West, for tentacles and gunslinging. We got listen, as DCC fans, we got all we need. We got beautiful stuff like this. And then, come here, bring the hand truck over. I need the hand truck. Get the pulley. Yep, pull it up. Use the counterweight. Jeez. I'm going to help me lift it. You know what I'm talking about. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this. It has arrived. Mwah! I love you. Look at this thing. Look. From the beautiful mind of Mr. Beatty, it has been birthed. Everybody, he did it. Let's give him a round of applause. Listen to that thing. It's like a conga drum. I could have had a Gatling gun in here if I carved out the pages. This thing, Beatty, you're a genius. This is beautiful. This is perseverance. This is creativity. And this is not giving up. Beatty, you deserve an award. You'll get your due justice. I asked him, I said, Beatty, how do I advertise this thing? All right. The rest of them are going out. They'll all be out by the rest of the month for everybody that kickstarted it. All right. The Goodman game site is going to get some. Reach out to David. Give him a little bit of time. He's still packing boxes and saving all the cats in the world like a gentleman. But he's going to get to you. But listen, hop on this because he doesn't think there's going to be a second printing. All right. There's some leftovers from the Kickstarter. Look at this. You got two of the things here, not just one, not one simple ribbon, two. So Beatty, big ups to you, my dude. All right. They're coming. I know you're still waiting. They're coming. Look at this thing. You know how many mules it takes to drag this across the country? It's coming, Beatty. Great job. So now you got everything you need for Weird West. You got Weird Frontiers. You got Stormlords, Black Powder, Black Magic, some great stuff. So that's where we are in terms of cool stuff. I got some new records, but I'll bust those out next time. All right, we'll share some records over there. I'm gonna do. Let's go into wisdom check. Elena, thank you very much for everything. I'm glad we're here today. I've missed you. So you know how I am with the wisdom check, right? We go to the Stoics. We dig into that. I'm switching things up this summer. I got into some great stuff, and I'm gonna do something a little bit different. Our wisdom check today is called "What Did Ray Say?" Ray, happy birthday, feliz cumpleaños a tu. You know who I'm talking about, right? Ray, Uncle Ray, Bradbury, wake up! Come on, Ray Bradbury, get your nose out of pasta fazool. I collect all. Anytime I see a Ray Bradbury paperback, I pick it up. You're stupid if you don't. All right, I'll forgive you once, but if you pass it twice, you're out of the family. But I never saw this one before. Highly recommend. I'm a chapter in, and one lone tear caressed these cheeks. This just spoke to me, and today it's gonna speak to you. Here is our wisdom check of the month. You ready, boys and girls? Here we go. All right. I got two little selections today. Humor me, all right? If you, this is creativity writing. Come on, get with the program here. We're on episode 8. If you are writing without zest, without gusto, without love, without fun, you are only half a writer. It means you are so busy keeping one eye on the commercial market or one ear peeled for the avant-garde coterie that you are not being yourself. You don't even know yourself. For the first thing a writer should be is excited. She should be a thing of fevers and enthusiasms. Without such vigor, they might as well be out picking peaches or digging ditches. God knows it would be better for their health. There it is from the man himself, Uncle Ray. You got to be excited or don't do it. You can't go in half, you know what? How long has it been since you wrote a story where your real love or your real hatred somehow got onto the paper? When was the last time you dared release a cherished prejudice so it slammed a page like a lightning bolt? What are the best things and the worst things in your life? And when are you going to get around to whispering or shouting them? One more. So simply then, here is my formula. I bought this for $1, and I have Ray Bradbury's secret formula. I'm going to share it with you. What do you want more than anything else in the world? What do you love or what do you hate? Listen, 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 listen. Find a character like yourself who will want something or not want something with all of his heart. Give them running orders. Shoot them off. Then follow as fast as you can go. The character in his great love or hate will rush through to the end of the story. The zest and the gusto of his need, and there is zest in hate as well as there in love, will fire the landscape and raise the temperature of your typewriter 30 degrees. Boom! Pow! Right in the kisser. That's what Ray says. Ray Bradbury, Zen in the art of writing. Chef's kiss. Hope you get something out of that, friends. I did. And now, this is something unprecedented. All the way from the other side of the world. All right? It's 8 p.m. in the Mozzarella Mausoleum. We're going 10 a.m. Ladies and gentlemen, stat it up. A brave adventurer answered the call. He is my friend, Mark Platt. Before we let him in. There it is. I missed that sting. I was doing the brute for a while, but now I'm back to the old spice. You can't keep a good man down. Elena, can we let my friend in? Marky P in the place to be. Unmute yourself, brother, and let's talk turkey.
G'day, mate. How's it going?
Good day, mate. Oh, that's classic. How you doing, buddy?
Doing good, thank you. Glad to be on the show.
I'm glad to have you, and thank you for making time. Congratulations on being a relatively new dad.
Oh, thank you. Yes, yes. It's tough, but it's worth it.
It certainly is worth it. It's an investment. It is an investment, and if you invest, it pays off. Just like your investment in creativity. There he is. Here's our son, Marky P. This is what you and I made together. Look at that beauty, huh? This was done by a sixth grade Joey Royale. As Uncle Marty mentioned, he'll be on in a little bit. You can, look how beautiful those fried egg eyes are. All right. I used the gloss, so I was still learning, but gives it a nice slimy thing. Mark, you did something special here. You could have just gone the route of the universal monster, this and that always comes out, but you did something very cool, and it caught my eye and my heart right away. Empathy. There is a dusting of empathy and compassion for what you call, I'll let you introduce it.
He's the creature from the Stygian Billabong, I believe I called it.
The aquatic creature of the Stygian Billabong. And now you have expanded my vocabulary because I thought Billabong was a t-shirt company, but in actuality, it's an Australian term, right?
Yep, that's right. For a small, like a lake, or a body of water. That's right.
Like a bog, right? Like a bog. You got bogs down there?
Oh yeah, we got bogs.
You got bogs. All right, let's talk about him. Let's talk about the aquatic creature of the Stygian Billabong. You got some nice stats. He comes in swinging with the claw. He's got a poison dart. I like that very much. He does better swimming, right?
Oh yeah, well he's swimming under the water. He's looking at if you watch the movie, he's looking at you from below. He's watching you.
Yeah, watching those bikini bottoms. So, talk to us about him internally. What drives the aquatic creature of the Stygian Billabong?
Well, the way I thought about it, I watched the movie. I watched The Shape of Water by Guillermo del Toro.
Yes.
And I thought, well, this guy, he's the last of his kind. He's sitting in the water all alone, and all he wants is a friend. He only wants to talk to people, right? So I thought, yeah, he's a lonely guy. So if you talk to him nicely, you've got a good personality score in your character.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what really spoke to me. This is not just you swinging and cut this thing's head off and you put it on your mantle and you talk about it when the cousins come over. Hunted by fishermen as a monster. It lives in fear and loneliness. If a character with a high personality score approaches its territory, the creature will try to befriend it. If successfully befriended, the creature is a very useful guide for navigating all waterways and will even gift the character with any treasure found underwater it finds. We need more of this, Mark. We need more of this in games. You know, everybody likes to murder hobo every now and again, but this is nice. You make a friend. He shows you around. Here's a couple of pearls. Have a cup of chowder, you know?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, you got to think about when you're writing, I think, first one-dimensional characters, two-dimensional characters, and three-dimensional characters. You got to have these elements.
That's right. Mr. Deshane wrote some Baileys from a shoe as well. I think that could be a wonderful treasure that he could find down there.
Greg.
Yeah, old Greg's his downstairs mix-up. So tell me about the tears of the creature, Mr. Platt.
Oh, so I thought about this. So at the end of the movie, he walks away and he's been shot by these guys. I don't know how many times. He's got a lot of blood in him. But he looks so upset and sad, right? So I think, oh, he must go back to his lair and he must cry these terrible tears. But if you're able to harness these tears, perhaps that's what the fishermen want, right?
Yes.
You can get really good bonuses to your ability scores
I
and
love it.
your rolls. Yeah.
Collect his tears in a cup. This is beautiful. Mark, what got you into DCC? Tell us about your story. What's your origin story?
Well, I started in 2014 with Pathfinder, believe it or not,
Yep.
Pathfinder First Edition, and our community, our organized play, kind of died down for a bit. So I backed back in the day X-Crawl for Pathfinder,
Okay.
if you
Yeah.
remember. Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
and I on the Facebook page, my Facebook page for Goodman Games kept popping up this thing, Dungeon Crawl Classics, and I thought, no, what is it? So I bought it, and I just fell in love
Yeah.
immediately. The mechanics, the way magic works, rolling to get various effects on your spells. It's incredible. I love the system.
Yeah, I
Got it right
think you
here
nailed
though.
it. Oh, yeah, there it is. The annual. Hey, that's a
Yeah.
lovely carpet you got behind you. Who are those twin girls I saw that just ducked
I don't,
away?
I don't know. Yeah, I
I don't
booked
know.
this hotel room in this place. I don't know. There was an old lady in my room.
Don't
I don't know.
get listen. Stay away. You're a good man. So, so how about for the people at home, Mark? What's something that you've come across recently that really, got your brain going?
Well, I've been reading M.R. James. He's a 1900s, early 1900s Victorian era ghost story writer. He wrote basically at Christmas time, for some time reason in England, they would read ghost stories to each other,
Right. I've
and
heard this.
yeah,
Yeah.
and he wrote them down they're all compiled in a book, and so I've been reading that. It's quite creepy. It's quite very interesting for horror-based stuff. I'm into Call of Cthulhu as well, so
Okay, great.
it
Yeah, well,
fuels my.
kindred spirit here. Absolutely. So, M.R. James, I'm adding that to my reading list. You are going to get a pizza package in the mail all the way down there. So, you're going to get some special prizes. You're going to get the whole Get Haunted Industries catalog, and you're going to get some other special stuff. So, if you're into that kind of horror, I have some stuff in the Mozzarella Mausoleum I'd like to share with you as an appreciation of your time, your knowledge, your creativity, and mark your friendship.
Oh, thank you, mate. Thank you very much.
M.R.R. James. So check that out, folks. Mark, I want to thank you for coming on the show. When we get around to making the Pizza Party zine, you are going to be on there. You're getting some props in the chats. Way to go, Mark. Mark, this was a special one. You really struck a nice chord here.
Thank you. I'd be glad to submit for further ones as well.
Absolutely.
I
Keep the writing coming. You got something there, buddy.
All right. Thank you, mate. Cheers.
Keep in touch. We'll be around, okay?
I'd love to, keep in touch. Absolutely.
Absolutely. You're a friend of mine forever. Now, don't turn off the camera or it's gonna blow up the thing, you know? So stick
right,
around.
yeah.
I want
All
you to
right.
think of some words of wisdom. I'm gonna have you on at the end, okay?
All right. Will
So
do.
you got some time. Very good. All right. Thank you very much, Elena. Before we let our crazy guests in, we're gonna get weird. All right? We're gonna do some divination. Everybody right now in the audience, I want you to think of something. We're going to do one card from the tarot deck, and it's going to be a reading for all of us. All right? I've been doing this lately, and I love it. Marty's shaking his head. He gets scared of this stuff. All right? His grandmother would hit him in the back of the head. That's the devil. All right, here we go. Everybody think. 3 seconds, close your eyes and shoot beams at the screen. All right, I cut the deck. I'm going to flip the top card. Top card is interesting. The 9 of Wands reversed. All right. You got the 9 of Wands reversed. I got to look it up. So let's look it up real quick. I'm not a master of this. I just think it's fun. It's neat. And what does it mean for all of us spaghetti heads right now? All right. I go to always biddytarot.com to read this. Hope it's something good. You can take it any way it comes, okay? So let's see what we got here. We got the 9 of Wands reversed. Oh, this is interesting. The 9 of Wands reversed suggests that you are struggling to keep working towards your goal. The challenges on your path are relentless, pummeling you with setback after setback. You don't know if you can cope with it anymore. And you may be ready to give up. Just know, here we go. This is magic. Just know that you are oh so close to completing this challenge. Draw upon your internal resources, your resilience, inner courage, positive self-talk, and mindset to keep you going. You have it in you to turn this challenging situation into a fantastic success and help others facing similar hurdles. Keep fighting. You got this. I swear on my mother's eyes, this was a random pull from a full tarot deck. Ooh. Somebody's watching us. Somebody's listening. Ravioli Head, Lowe's, how you doing, buddy? All right. That was cool. Very cool. And now you hear him knocking. Ma, let him in. I'm not putting on anything for these guys. They got enough Jacquard Noir on to kill a horse. Here we go, folks. Cousin Marty and Dr. Metal are joining us again. How you doing, guys?
You know, Joey, I don't wear the Dakar Noir no more. It's the high karate I like to wear.
Look at you. You just come from Wildwood? You just come from the shore? You look great.
So I got in touch with this movie with this Frankie Avalon and Annette Funny Jello, and it got me really wanting to start surfing. So I went down to the Hudson, and Joey, you can't surf in the Hudson.
No, there's no waves in the Hudson. What's the matter with you?
Well, so I decided to go. I went up to Lake Winnipesaukee and I tried there. The same thing. You can't. You have to go to the ocean.
You lost to Pisaki. Yeah. You got to go to the ocean, bud. You got to go to the ocean next time. All right. We'll get the El Camino going. We'll put the boards in the back. We'll head down there. Dr. Metal, you look beautiful.
Dr. Metal's been traveling too.
Where you been?
I went back to the homeland, Cincinnati, Ohio. We like to do our snack it up. Well, my snack it up for tonight is the nectar of the gods from the homeland.
That is Skyline Chili.
Oh, it's fantastic. You can have it on a cheese coney, which is a hot dog with the chili and the cheese, or
Beautiful.
you can do the 3-way, the 4-way, the 5-way, which involves spaghetti, chili, cheese, onions, beans, however you want to work it. So that is the nectar of the gods. That is our snack it up for tonight. But
spaghetti and chili?
It's a thing back home. I know it's a lot for you paisans, but back home it is heaven.
Fake New York system. That's what Timmy said. Hey, what's Lunar Crypt Club?
Lunar Crypt Club is my best friend Rob's company back home. He does shirts, he does hats, he does pins, anything you like. If you love the creature, which we just saw a little bit statted up, he did a Millicent Patrick tribute t-shirt that was huge with that fan base. He might still have some left if you want to go check it out.
That's a ravenous fan base. Creature fans is something special.
So, but going home, it was a special and a little bit of a sad moment. So within this little 2-mile stretch of suburbia that I grew up in, where I worked bussing tables and dishwashing, they finally got a game store.
They did.
The doctor had to leave the city and the suburbs to have it happen. This little game store on a corner, Gateway Games, innocent little spot for this community. It is a holy shrine.
That's awesome.
The birthplace of MCC.
Really?
All of his testing went on in this little strip mall in Eastgate, where little Doc grew up. I got to go there. I got to spend some money, which is great. I got this fine piece.
Oh, yes. I've been keeping my eye on that one. Yeah.
Yep. So I couldn't thank Todd and the crew enough. It's and I said, where were you when the Doc was growing up? But
Yeah.
if you want to go to the shrine, if you want to pay homage to the birthplace, you have about 3 days left because Todd's going to sadly be closing up shop. So let's give him a salute for bringing DCC to the birthplace.
Support your local game store, folks.
Yep.
That's all I got to say
Keep
about
them
that.
going, and amazing dude, amazing store. Is fantastic. One more thing I've got, the doc, we talked
Yep.
about it earlier. Hellbent for leather as always.
Yes, sir.
Still got to give the love to Mr. Beatty.
Oh my goodness, look at that one.
Yeah,
That looks good with a pair of Wranglers.
I got a good couple of workouts in this morning, doing some presses with it. People say you need to get off the couch. You just get some Weird Frontiers and you're good to go.
That's like 3 cows worth of cover right there.
I know. There's a farm missing their herd.
Thank you for that story, Dr. Metal. Now, speaking of big accomplishments in books, cousin Marty, I want to congratulate you. You want to share with the crowd a milestone you just hit?
Cousin Marty just sells used carpets. I don't know what you're talking about, Joey.
What, that thing we did for the guy? All those things in the back of the trunk.
Oh,
that kid up in New York.
weirdo that I keep in the basement.
Yeah, the kid up in New York. Yeah, that we brought down. Tell me about him.
You could tell me, Joey.
Oh, for crying out loud.
I don't
Neon Lords of the Toxic Wasteland. Second printing on Kickstarter. Just crossed the finish line for $15,000. That means it's going to be funded. You're going to get your Pogs. You're going to get your Bruticorns. You're going to get your Dwarflings. Congratulations, Brian Shutter, wherever you are, on making your amazing, huh?
He's around here somewhere.
He's around there somewhere.
I'll let him know.
Hey, Marty, I heard the doctor's inspired class might have just been unlocked.
Yeah, he told me at 15,000 that he would unlock the Dr. Metal, the Night Thrash, or the Noise Thrasher.
The Noise Thrasher.
Metal.
There we go. What a family.
Mad.
Oh, yeah.
So Marty, I don't know if you heard. Well, you were there. Marty, Brian Shutter, and I went up to AnchorCon. We met some DCC fans. I was slinging some of my loot, and the guy Mark, who was a playtester for X-Crawl, said, "Hey, that's a DCC zine." I said, "Yes, it is." He goes, "You know Brendan LaSalle?" I said, "You bet your bottom dollar I do." So we had a nice talk. There's DCC fans all over the place, from the cornfields of northern New York to the Wildwood Boardwalk. They're everywhere. They're down in Australia with our friend Mr. Platt. They're all over the place. So congratulations on that. Marty, you got the movie of the month?
I got a couple of movies. Let me take off the shades here and we'll talk about them. Oh, boy. Oh, it's so bright.
You got tan lines, buddy. Holy Maron.
The big old tan lines. Let me turn off the old Batman in the background so I can.
You look like Falco.
Falco?
Yeah, Rock Me Amadeus.
Yeah,
like
I know.
It was a wig guy. Yeah.
Yeah, remember the kids in the fireplace were trying to
Oh yeah. That was the adventure. The Don't Tell Mom and Dad.
Yeah.
Oh, they got a mustache.
Hold on, I'm knocking everything over. I just
got a mustache dancing all over your face. There he is.
So I got two surfer instructional movies for you.
Okay.
I got Surf Ninjas.
Of course.
Gotta have Surf Ninjas.
Yep.
It's one of the best Rob Schneider movies ever made, hands down. The man is a genius. Leslie Nielsen is the bad guy. You can't go wrong.
Oh, are you serious? You got Leslie and Rob?
Yeah. You ever see it before?
No, I haven't. I remember seeing the trailer as a kid, but I never sat down and watched the whole thing.
Highly recommend it. Yeah.
Hey, Marty, is that the one with Hulk Hogan?
No. Hulk Hogan is not in this movie.
I think that's 3.
Oh, it might be.
No,
I know
that's 3 ninjas. Yeah.
Oh, 3 ninjas.
You can understand my confusion.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You got
Surf Ninjas,
Surf-
3
Surf
ninjas.
Ninja. It was in the 90s ninja craze after the
Surf Nazis Must Die. They're all from the same ostrich egg.
Speaking of Surf Nazis Must Die, my second pick of the day, Surf Nazis Must Die.
All right. Oh my goodness.
I tried to learn how to skate to this, or surf to this, but it's just a revenge movie about these wacko post-apocalyptic surf Nazis and Mama Washington taking revenge on them. And just laying the smackdown, if you will, on the old surf Nazis.
That was
Mama Washington takes care of everything.
the
yeah.
doctor's first trauma film.
Was it really?
It's a
That's what you were
fantastic
baptized in. That
It
was
was
your
that
baptismal
one.
font of trauma.
They were both together in the box too. Come to find out, so people like their surf movies.
There you go. Well, thank you very much, gentlemen. You always bring, wonderful things from the far reaches of the crypts. So thank you. Hey, guys, I got a mutual friend. You want to bring him in? Put your stuff, Hi Karate, put it on. What you got, Dr. Meadow? What are you wearing tonight?
The stink from the pit.
Oh, Maron.
Hey, I just caught Anthrax and Black Label last week.
There you go.
I ain't taking this shirt off after that.
So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the guy that got me into DCC, one of the coolest dudes I have ever met, a guy I consider my best friend. My wife loves him. My kids love him. I love him. We all love him. If you don't love him, there's something the matter with him. One of the handsomest men in the business, Timmy DeShane. Timmy, how you doing, you beautiful guy? Unmute yourself, you knucklehead. Let me hear that Tiny Tim falsetto.
Sorry, you got me all. I was all tingly after that introduction.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well, man. How are you?
It's nice to see you. We haven't got together in a while. I play every Sunday with Tim, and we've all been busy. Fresh off Gen Con. I think we can say fresh still, right?
Yeah, it feels fresh. It feels fresh, but it also feels 8 million years ago.
You had quite a prolific Gen Con, and you were talking about an amazing experience you had there. That if I could speak for you, it really got the fire going in your heart again. Would you mind just giving us an overview of the weekend and that epiphany that you had? The rest of the show is yours, so go ahead.
So I think just COVID in general, being apart from friends and only seeing them on a computer screen, I didn't realize what an effect it actually had on me.
Mm-hmm.
And having this first Gen Con back and just seeing everyone who I enjoy hanging out with and getting to run not only my first real in-game session in a long time, but 6 of them in a row. It was pretty awesome. And, I got to room with Harley and Wayne's daughter, and Joseph was amazing like he usually is. It was just like, couldn't ask for a better first time back. I got there early to help with setup. So it's always nice to get there before the show starts because it's still kind of quiet. You get to hang out, and then once the show started, it was pretty insane. I did all tournament games this year. I didn't want to have to really prep anything of my own, or there's something really freeing about doing the tournament where, of course, I want people to have fun, but I'm also way more neutral, right? So I don't have to. The players having fun isn't my first priority. It's just me being objective and fair, right? But still having it be DCC. So that's the fun part, right? Because it's a tournament, but it's still DCC. It's not all rules lawyery and
Sure.
But there's my first priority is to run it the right way. So it takes a lot of pressure off me, and then I think that allows it to be super fun. And the last session I had, dude, it was like you read my write-up of it. That's going to be possibly in the adventure or one of the Goodman Games gazettes that you get when you order stuff. But to give you a summary, it was the closest thing I've ever had to that Hollywood version of what happens when you play D&D, right? Or like that Stranger Things, like how they portray it versus how we ever, when we play now, especially we're older, we BS, we got BC screaming puns at us in the morning. We're lucky if we actually get into a session, right?
Yeah.
This was like that down to the final roll. Like it was going to make or break the game.
Literally the final roll of your game.
It was down to the thief. All the other characters were dead. It came down to his backstab. and he got a +1D on it for being so super sneaky that Terry was like, give him a bonus 1 die. So he rolls his back stab on a D24, and he throws it, and it's like literally slow motion. Like we're all watching it. Everyone's on their feet, watching it bounce, and it like tumbles and tumbles, and it finally stops on the 24. And Harley and I almost pulled a muscle. We were just jumping and screaming, and people were just like, "What's going on over there?" It was just amazing, right? So for these guys that I ran the game for, were the first ones to ever actually finish that adventure.
Amazing.
Everyone before that has TPK'd. So it was awesome that just smart play. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was a great way to finish. I rode that high for about 4 days. I came home and I immediately started writing, things that I had in my brain that I hadn't even touched in God knows how long. So yeah, definitely reinvigorated that my passion. It goes away if I don't stoke it.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, I think that's a common thing too. If you don't feed it, it starts to starve. I had the ultimate pleasure in this. Yeah, it's part of a salesman technique, but at the same time, this memorializes some work that Tim and I did together. Tim this was just a paragraph in a notebook until Tim reached out and he said, "Let's do something." And Tim was able to turn a paragraph in a notebook into a work of art, very well thought out. His background knowledge in rules and the play aspect of things that I don't have. We put our peanut butter and jelly together to come up with one of us. So this was a long haul for you. You persevered like Beatty, and you got through it, and you came up with something really cool. You and I have not tooted this thing's horn enough. Tell me about your process with this and how you overcame some roadblocks.
I think the reason why I don't push it as much is because I have a habit of, when I create, I really feel like it's for me and for my friends, right? And to try and sell stuff is kind of counter to my nature, even though that's why I to sell, right? But when you told me about when you were running the first session of one of us, I thought it was amazing, right? And then when that Zine Quest 2019 came up, I'm like, we need to make this, right? Like this deserves to have some breathing room and other people to see it. But then, I think with everything else, like I put a lot of pressure on myself. I put too much expectation. Because there's a whole thing with Zine Quest where you're like, it can just look like a zine, man. Like we've all done photocopy crappy things when we were kids, right? And that could be it. But there's this current trend in Zine Quest where things are gorgeous, right? Risograph and just, I don't know, like totally out of control.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I also have, I think the only thing really, Joey, the only thing I really brought to this was my connections. Like I know a lot of the artists. It was easy for me to reach out to the artists and say, hey, can you guys, I want to commission some art from you. And they made some really beautiful stuff, which is one of the reasons why I did persevere with it. Not only that, but the expectations of the Kickstarter backers.
Yeah, that's important. Yeah.
But with that, my experience with Kickstarter, I think from now on, I'm never going to use that because I don't want people to have an expectation before the thing is done. I want the thing to be done, and then if they want it, they get it, right? I had like so many more. Like the zine itself it's 36 pages. We sold it for $10. I pretty much lost money on it, right? But I had so much more in mind that I wanted to do for it, but I had to cut it out at a certain point because I'm like, I didn't charge enough for this. Between printing and art, it's we're going to be in the hole. So I am working on, instead of issue 2, I think I talked to you about it. I wasn't going to say anything, but hey, we're here.
Yeah, we're here.
I was thinking about doing like a thin hardcover, kind of like Levi's Planet X books. His
yes, definitely.
Like Mummy, Jungle Tomb of the Mummy Bride, whatever, something like that thickness, right? And that's not, or like the early America books. Right. Something that's not, or the supplements for America where it's not super thick, but it'll, because I still have things where how the circus runs, like what is it actually, the teamwork rules for when you do a performance,
We talked a lot about that, the performance aspect of that, when you come together as a collaborative team and do almost like a human Rube Goldberg machine.
Rules for the actual, we have patron bond in there, but I wanted to incorporate the Lankmar patron rules for the non-wizards where you get your patron die. And that was the impetus to actually feed and follow and find these relics for the madam, because as you use your patron die and they get smaller, the only way you can get it back up to where it was is to like sacrifice, relics of the old world. Maybe a few more classes. I really like the natural wonder, but it's kind of a hodgepodge of other classes, and I would like to actually maybe rewrite it. You can probably hear my dog. I would like to rewrite it to just be standalone.
I think that could be a supplement or a pamphlet of its own. I think that opens itself to a lot.
But it's funny because I hadn't looked at this, Joey, in a while. We were talking about it. I'm like, I had just put this down and not really looked at it. And I came home.
It went in the drawer.
Yeah. And I went to Gen Con and I came back and looked at it and I'm like, damn, this is pretty good. Like, it definitely doesn't have as much as I wanted. Like, I wanted to have an adventure in it. But the art in it, like, this piece that David Hoskins did, who's another buddy of mine.
Oh man.
Like, this thing is one of my favorite pieces of art. And anything, right? I get to put it in a zine. It's for one of the monsters that Michael Curtis wrote up, the gut fly. And it's just this disgusting horse-sized fly that eats you by spitting its guts out at you and lassoing you. And
the art in this book tells so many stories.
Yeah, Marissa Bruno's like pen and her ballpoint pen drawings.
Yeah. Carmen's fortune teller with all the spirits of the natural wonders coming out of her guts. That's awesome.
But so I found this in my basement. I was looking we had a lot of different influences, obviously, for this, whether it's Something Wicked This Way Comes, Carnival, stuff like that.
Todd Browning's Freaks. Yep.
But back in the day, when I was in between my D&D phase and I was playing lots of World of Darkness, this was one of my kind of influences that got behind it. This is so Midnight Circus. This is for the World of Darkness. I think it fell maybe under the vampire line or just kind of under its own mortals, but it's about a dark circus. Now in this, the circus, it's more adversarial, where in ours, the circus is home, right? Like, you're the good guys.
Yeah.
But just the atmosphere of it is definitely something that, I've always loved that. And so that's why when you told me about that first game you were going to run, I was sold. I was like, this is awesome.
So the long and short of it, to people that aren't, you're a member of a traveling sideshow in a post-apocalyptic dust bowl. So, mid-century America, maybe a little before that, 40s, 50s, the bomb, something went off, the big mistake happened. And now you have been conscripted by the madam who sends you around post-apocalyptic America looking for relics that powers the carnival. So another post-apocalyptic kind of situation. Hey, Marty or Ben, were you ever a World of Darkness guys? You guys are muted. I can't hear you, Marty. I'll come back.
Press the button. I don't even know.
Gotta press the button. There you go.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, I don't know anything about it.
No vampires and nothing like that.
No.
Yeah, Dr. Metal.
Yeah, vampire was big at Dr. Metal's art school. They used to play in the art building at night. We had 24-hour access.
Ooh.
While the doc was in there trying to do his actual schoolwork. There were Malkavians on the 6th floor. There were Gangrel on the 2nd floor. Nosferatu on the basement. And you want to talk about not getting anything done and being sad. It was a good time. And I'm like, how do I not get to play?
Yeah, that sounds cool. So Tim, this I want to ask you too. I'll ask the three of you. When you play DCC, what is your favorite character class to play? I know, Tim, you're usually running games, but when you play, which is your favorite character what character class do you like?
I really like playing warriors. I just love Mighty Deeds. It's just what I do. Like, I think if I were to be a character class, I would be some sort of warrior, right, in real life. And I don't know. It's just awesome coming up with things to affect, because here's the thing. I usually hate combat, at least as D&D became more modern and combat slog. Combat is probably my least favorite part of playing a dungeon game, right?
Yep.
But in DCC, it's way more. It's a puzzle, right? Instead of seeing who can roll dice better, and who runs out of who rolls higher longer, and the other person runs out of hit points. It's like a puzzle, right? It's a mini game. And with the warrior, because of your mighty deeds, you can piece the puzzle together and make the fight go quicker or have interesting things happen, and really when we played old school, that's how you did it anyway, but it's nice to have a mechanic, so it's not just relying on GM fiat, right? Like it's like a universal, like, the warrior gets to do this.
When I played with kids, that's the big sell. They get to do that cinematic thing, Marty, what's your character class of choice?
I'm always the GM there, Joey, but I'd always want to play the what is it, the halfling.
Yeah,
that seems kind of cool. A little
Yeah.
ball of luck.
yes, yep. That is that I have brought that into so many games, DCC and otherwise. That really puts a nice spin on it beyond novelty. It's like the human jackknife. How about you, Dr. Metal?
Dr. Metal's gonna go. I'm with the two fellows we just talked to. I like the warrior class because you get a chance to be creative with the mighty deeds. It's weirdly the most creative role that you can do. 5e and all that other stuff. Fighter is boring. Here you could make up the zaniest thing and it might happen or it might not happen, but either way the whole table's going to laugh. Halfling, fantastic, because A, you're everybody's best friend, and B, you get like 2 attacks per round. It's a pretty cool class. Those are probably my 2 jams. I've played a little bit of everything. When I started this game, when that gentleman down there at the bottom of the screen introduced me to it, I played cleric.
Your cleric was awesome. Judas Priest.
He was the best.
Awesome.
And I came to the table. It's like it took me a couple sessions to figure out what this game was. And then I was like, I think it was a Courts of Chaos where you're chasing these eggs. Sorry for spoiler alert. And I'm like sitting there, you're sitting there and you're, things are starting to kick in at the table. And you're like, you know what? This game is about doing DCC stuff. And I said, all right, I have a god. I have the egg called upon my god. God shows up and I'm like, hey, I've got the egg. It is probably my top moment ever at a table playing a game. It didn't succeed, but it was pretty damn awesome.
Tim was the judge?
Yes, he was.
Yeah, that was probably our first campaign.
Yep.
If people out in Spaghetti Land, if you're ever at a con and Tim's running a game, jump on it. Hey, Elena, can we let Mark in? I want to ask Mark the same question. Mark.
Hey,
favorite character class to play?
Well, I'm usually the judge.
Yeah.
But usually I like to play clerics. Some of the patrons in the annual actually make you a little bit more like a paladin with your abilities. So I like to play paladins and that sort of flavor. Yeah.
Very cool. Okay, I got to check that out. I got to look into that section. I want to learn more about the paladin. Elena, what about you? I always put people on the spot. I'm sorry.
Can you hear me now? I think.
Yeah, I can hear you great.
Okay,
yeah.
Good. Okay. I was having technical difficulties. The chat couldn't hear me.
All right.
So I actually have not played much DCC as much as I love the game. But when I did play, I played a warrior, which was a lot of fun because I was a chicken farmer. And like everybody has said, the mighty deed gets you to do really creative things. And my very first game as a warrior, I used a mighty deed to shove chicken meat into a mechanical snakes like gears. And,
that's awesome.
Yeah, so that was my first thing because I was a chicken farmer.
That is great.
My next one, I like the way you can get like wizard corruption. Like that is one of my favorite rule sets. Like just the idea of getting like, tainted and getting all twisted and gross looking when spells backfire. That's just amazing to me. I think that's so creative.
I don't know if I can ever run a game, DCC or not. I mean, basically it would be without DCC, but like without corruption. That to me, that's just like That's canon now. If you play a wizard, magic is dangerous. I just love that aspect of DCC. That's one of the most special things, because you never know what you're going to get yourself into, and that just spins the adventure off in a completely other direction. The judge has to be on their feet. The characters have to learn to be flexible.
Joe,
I was playing with Mark. Yeah, go ahead.
I was saying, you played a wizard in that first game that road crew game I played that you showed up at, right? You were the wizard for that game.
First game I ever played, and I'll never forget it. I went to go read. This was the jeweler that dealt in Stardust. And I went to go, you said, and there's a brass plaque on the wall with a name on it. And I said, all right, what does it say? And you said it. And I said it out loud to the other characters. And the name on the plaque was Beelzebub. And I'll never forget this, the genius of Tim DeShane. So as a result, Beelzebub appeared. And my mission was I then had to drop his seed into 3 wells in my travels and spread the Lord of the Flies amongst 3 towns. I never forgot about that. I got to continue that mission. I messed up 2 wells in my town already, so I got to find a 3rd and summon the Lord of the Flies. Tim, what are some words of wisdom? I'm going to ask all of you now for our viewers out there.
Just in general, this life
general. Either way. This is just a part of the show where I bring the geniuses of the world together and we throw stuff against the wall.
Man, I'm totally like, my theme for the last week has really been you get one shot at this, so just make sure that you are doing what you love, that you love what you do, and the things that you don't, just kind of keep them in their corner, right? Like it's too, life's too short to worry about what people think about you, and like, what do you think about yourself, and be that person.
That reminds me about, that is sort of connected too. Marty, I've been thinking about it since the car ride. You said something to me. You quoted Henry Rollins.
Yeah, I don't remember. I paraphrased it for sure, but it was like you don't have spare time, you only have time. Go.
Yep.
Or something like that.
Yep.
Yeah.
No such thing as spare time. There's only time.
Yeah.
What else, Marty? You got any other?
I was gonna end it like I end it every single episode. Hard work pays off. Dreams come true. Bad times don't last, but bad guys do.
Well played, buddy.
The best sentence ever written.
My Australian friend from the Billabong.
All right. Well, this is a bit of advice that Alan Moore gives, and I took it to heart and I use it a lot, which is if you're ever wanting to write something, read something terrible, because you can look at it and think, wow, I can do better than that, and it'll inspire you to do better.
Oh, man, I like that. I like that very, very much. I think, some of the greatest lessons I ever learned in my life were how not to do things. I think I learned more from either bad examples or my own failures. Well played, Mr. Platt. Doctor.
All right.
It's operating time. What do you got for us?
A lot of good stuff tonight. I'm going to go with this one I heard the other day. There are no guilty pleasures. It's not a crime to like something. It's not a crime to love something. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it, and to hell with what other people think about it.
Man,
Unless
I'm a lucky
you're going to
guy.
end up in jail.
Yeah. Unless it's, illegal. Like,
I mean,
threatening to burn
maybe,
down.
there's
Olive
that
Garden.
fine line. Marty knows what I'm talking about.
Hey,
There's a fine line of illegal.
I'm technically on parole, okay? So let's keep that to a bare minimum.
Oh, the great New Jersey Olive Garden fire situation. Oh,
Allegedly,
my God.
allegedly.
Allegedly.
What do you mean, no more breadsticks?
Yeah.
You are no longer family.
You
Hey.
mean this endless bowl of pasta does have an end?
Yar, 'tis no man, 'tis a remorseless eating machine. Well, on that note, we're gonna wrap it up. My wife the other day, we were outside. I was watering the hydrangeas, and she goes, "You know what? I'm really happy for you. You got a really great group of friends these days. And damn it, I sure do. That's everybody on this screen. And that's everybody in the comments that comes and joins us, and everybody in the DCC community. We truly have something special here. I'm not just on here to sell zines and books and all that. I'm here to share all this wonderful stuff I'm learning from all of you. So everybody out there, it's going to be okay. Take a couple of deep breaths. I love you. People love you. Hang in there. Keep on fighting. Keep on writing. And keep on rolling nat 20s. All right, everybody? Elena, I don't know what I'd do without you. I'd be a mess. I'd be on the floor in a sweatsuit covered in Mountain Dew with flies all over me. So thank you very much for your technical expertise. Thank you, Mr. Australia, Mr. Platt, for showing up. Thank you, Marty. Oh, thank you, Doggy. What's her name, Tim?
This is Mac.
This is, oh, he or she?
He.
That's a beautiful dog. Dr. Metal, Timmy D, I love you guys very much. Everybody out there in Spaghetti Land, we love you too. We'll see you again next month for episode 9. Oh, stat it up. I forgot almost. We're doing an artifact. Skeletor's Havoc Staff. That's going to be your statted up for next time.
You big boob.
Skeletor's Havoc
You
Staff.
muscle bound boob.
That was great. All right, everybody. Ciao, paisans. I love you. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay weird. See you around, everybody. Good night.